found out that maybe that's not the way to do it. And maybe this is a pathetic, boring explanation, but since I am a woman and a mother of a child, it began especially with debut. I felt that my songs were like my children. And with children, you can't just give birth to them and then say, see you later, you know. You have to make sure you don't own them or anything, but you have to make sure that they get the best education possible, the best health care, that they are introduced to human nature and learned how to deal with it so people don't treat you badly and all those things. And then maybe when the kid is 15 or 20 or something, it has to manage on its own, you know. With my music, I tend to try to protect it as much as I can, all the way till it's in a record shop. So it will get the album sleeve that it deserves, it will get the video it deserves, it will get the photographs it deserves. And the photographs are not of me. They are of the person who made that music. And the videos are not about me, they're about the music. So I focus everything on this music that has been created. And that's why I follow up so closely on everything that is done with my music, very, very firmly. And it's not because I'm a control freak and I want to control the universe, because that's probably the thing I'm least interested in, but because I'm very protective towards my music, that's why.
His wages, a sense of humor, suggests exciting sounds. His fingers, they focus on her attention. His feelings as a boy.
If I have to have an effort with making a song, it's not worth it. If songs don't come up by themselves, it means they're not worth the attention. You know, you should never force a song. It just means it shouldn't exist, really. But with these songs, I don't look at them as fantasy at all. They are, of course, sort of a game with reality, but I want them to be, in a way, more real than in reality. And really, I am not an escapist. And when people look at me as being all ethereal and all over the place, and that's not what I'm like at all. I like to be very focused and very realistic about what I'm doing. I hate escapism. It's bad.
You were brought up in a hippie way. You just mentioned earlier on, you used the phrase boring hippie music. Is there any way at all that you might not have had a happy childhood, or that you enjoyed what your parents gave to you, but at the same token you couldn't exactly accept some of the ways they lived or some of their music or whatever?
I consider myself very lucky. I had a very, very happy childhood. And to be brought up by a hippie mother, I thought was very special. I think the media, because they find me quite peculiar for some reason, they tend to sort of try to find, but why did it all go horribly wrong? And then think, oh, it's because her mom was a hippie, and she didn't bring her up, and she suffered when she was a kid. That's not at all the case. I had a gorgeous mother, but the best thing about my mother, she let me do what I wanted. She trusted me that I knew what was for my best, you see. But of course, like every kid do, when you get older, you want to become the opposite of your parents. Thank God, because otherwise there'd be no development in the universe, you know? You've got to go further than your parents.
Do you think pop music can change people's lives? Do you think it can even affect people in anything other than just a surface emotion way?
Pop music, I think, is one of the most important forces in the life. And it's always been, ever since the minute that some of the monkeys decided not to be monkeys anymore, but to become humans. And pop music, even though they invented this word, this century, pop, it's always been around, you know, and a natural way of expressing yourself. And I think it saves people every day, all the time, out of serious emotional traumas, and music sympathizes with people in ways that other humans, or your best friends, or your lovers, or whatever, could never do, you know. And another form as well, not only when people are heartbroken, pop music is important, but also in a way to celebrate, which is just as important as sulking or depression, you know, like all emotions are.
find?
I can't think in that way. I've been doing music for such a long time that every time I maybe started to think like that, or anyway started to think what people think of my music, I lose the plot. And because I've several times lost the plot, and it's such a scary feeling you wouldn't believe, that you train yourself not to think that way. The only thing you can do is please yourself. And the more selfish you are, the more generous you are, as contradictional as it sounds. So what I'm always just doing is just do what I need to do at the moment. And the minute I start to please 5 people, I won't please anyone. But if I only please myself, I might please 10 people, you see.
What about the voice? I mean, I know that you were a good fan of Kate Bush when you were growing up. So have you ever actually done anything with the voice, or has it just naturally evolved the way it is now?
I just let it go to the places it wants to go. My voice.
And where might it go next?
I don't know. That's why I like singing, and that's why it turns me on. I never know what happens next.
So in other words, like after Debut and after Post, 2 incredibly eclectic albums, 2 completely different albums, 2 exciting albums, but 2 very different albums. You don't know what you might actually be doing next. Will it still be in the same vein in terms of being able to pigeonhole you into a sort of a, I don't know, a 90s dance thing or whatever?
I don't know, to be honest. I always know what my next album will be emotionally. But most media people don't think emotionally. They think in sort of style terms, which is not the way. Style is just a tool to be used, like clothes. If you meet a person and you like the person, it doesn't matter if they wear a t-shirt or green socks or pink socks. And musical style is the same. It's just a tool to use to express yourself. But I think my next album, I think both Debut and Post are very similar albums from my point of view. That's why I call them Debut and Post. They are like the before and the after of the same experience. In a way, they are both the greatest hits of my music the last 12 years or so. But now I will be more modern and move and do more music which I'm writing exactly now at the moment. Not be so hooked with the past. And I think my music now will be more self-sufficient and more private, but at the same time more calm but more dangerous at the same time. I will always be myself. That's kind of something I better accept, you know, and I think I have. At the same time, one form of accepting what I am is that I will never stay the same. And everything changes, you know, every second. And nothing, you can't frame anything. And I think I try to accept that as well.
And do you enjoy going around the world, Bjork? I mean, like, do you like it all? Do you have time to actually take in the places you go to?
Not really. Mostly just through the people I work with. Because I work every day. And I'm either traveling or working. I've had 2 days off now since Christmas. I'm not complaining because it's by choice, you know.
Right, yeah.
And I work like 12 to 16 hours a day. So mostly I just, by communicating to other people, I find out what kind of place it is by getting to know them.
All right, I understand.
But I don't really see places.
Yeah,
that would be a lie to say that.
Yeah.
But I'll probably have time for that
And what do
later.
you do to relax?
I swim.
Good, okay, thanks.